huyu siwezi mpiga hata na mkono yangu. Nikachukua kisu, nikaweka kwa moto, kwa stove, nikamchoma na kisu. Yani hiyo ndio kosa yenye nilifanyaga mbaya, nika regret mpaka the following day nikamwambia pole, sitairudia tena. By the way, kwa mzazi mwingine kama mimi siwezi taka yani mtu kuadhibu mtoto na jambo kama hilo.
I would caution adults, as much as some of you don't want to hear this, that sometimes we do vent out on children, that sometimes we say that a child is justified to be beaten. In fact, what we say is, huyu anisikiangi, this one never hears me. That's why you have to be very harsh on this child. But you know what? In real sense, it's you as an adult who has a problem. Because when you say that this child doesn't hear you, you're looking at this child with the mindset of a grown-up. How old is this child? There are many incidences of children who are being beaten, maybe because they're not performing well in school, they're not getting it, their grades are low. By beating, you're not helping this child. If anything, what you're doing to this child is creating a hate for education. Another thing, you don't know the reason as to why your child is not performing well. Are they being molested at school? Are they undergoing some emotional issue that you're not aware? Or do they even have a reading disability? So when you say that your child warrants being beaten, I would question that deeply, that you question yourself as to why you feel beating a child is the only way a child will hear. I stand corrected. However, my opinion is when you beat a child, what you're doing is instilling fear as opposed to discipline.
I have said many times and talked to many groups, punishment is not good. It may be easier than dialogue because you do it and get it over with, but it's not as good as dialogue. As far as a child is old enough to listen and to reason, it's better to talk to a child. When a child is a baby who cannot reason all of the thing, too young to reason, now spanking is okay. Like a baby is playing with fire. He doesn't know that is dangerous, and he can understand if you try to tell him. So spanking at that age is okay. But when someone is old enough to reason and to listen, it's better to talk, because punishment has a lot of disadvantages. Number one, it will make a child devise ways of avoiding getting caught instead of changing. It leads to rebelliousness. Children will become rebellious because of resentment, or you may even destroy the child in the process. So the child, feels rejected and hopeless. So you may correct one behavior, but must destroy the child, and therefore the question is now, what's the use of correcting one behavior if you destroy the whole child?
Nito Peter Nyoike, mimi ni Uncle Ian. Ian ni mtu wa sister yangu. Yeye anasoma sasa yako au class 3 and anacheza ball mainstream. Mtu anapenda ball sana. To a point that ombeagwa afungua na hepa. Hiyo ndio the main problem yenye anakuwa nayo na mzazi wake. Lakini yeye si ati ni kichwa ngumu. Ni vile anapenda kukaa huko hivyo nje sana. Si most of the time wezi mpata huko viko ploti. Yeye kujaga jioni tuseme. Hata anazengia home saa 1:30 shangae kwa mtu ametoka kazi. Lakini watu boots na short nikachafu. Beating lazima kwa mamake saa zingine juu tuseme aliambiwa osha vyombo, aushe nguo kuosha. Aushe uniform kuosha. Sometimes inakuwa hard. Cope up na mtu huyo alafu afuate chenye tunamshow mother anataka kumwonyesha njia nyingine, mtoi kumbe naye ako na path yake anaona.
Rafiki yangu ni Ian Jenga, tunaendanga naye mpira. Sasa mimi niko na muziki naweza anza kuimba.
Niko on the stand nagoje mpenzi wangu akuje nipe namba na sitaki zaidi. Sitaki za viatu ninataka original. Zile za simu kama Messi wazimu. Nakumbuka wakati ulikuwa unasumbuka. Ulisema wewe ni wataka dinga. Nakuletea dinga waanza ujinga.
Discipline may nurture resentment in a child, or it may amend the child's crooked ways. So what then is the best way to discipline a child?
Kulingana na sahi si mzuri sana. Juu mtoto inafaa uzungumuze na yeye. Unajua siku hizi ukizungumuza na mtu anaelewa. Unajua kuna uoga. Wazazi wengine wanakuwa wakali sana kwa watoto. Paka inashinda mtoto hawezi kumweleza shida yake. Mtoto anakaa na uoga, hata kitu inafaa fanya hawezi fanya juu sasa ako na uoga. Inatakikana ukiona shida kwa mtoto, kalisa yeye chini, usimcommand. Kalisa yeye chini, uzungumuze na yeye. Kama kuna shida anafanya makosa, mwambie hii ni makosa, haifai. Na hii kitu itakudhuru kesho. Atasikiza, lakini ukimchapa bado utamsaidia, bado utafanya awe muoga. Na ndio unaona the most of street children inatoka kutokana na wale wamekuwa wamepigwa mpaka sasa anatoka katika nyumbani na anakuwa sasa mtu ambaye hawezi kaa na community na anapatia government burden juu sasa atakuwa street children na atatembea na atakuwa sio mzuri.
The best way is first of all to love them. And when you love your children, then you can be able now to look for other children outside. But the first of all is to love them and to help them, to educate them, and to assist them even by making the homework together with the children.
I've got several children, but none of them have been caned by me. But they have even by the mother, but they have never done any mistake because we are always together. We have never employed a maid. We only parent them by ourselves.
Unajua za zingine inabidi umtadike. Lakini si ati unatadika yeye. Yani unatadika mtoto sana. Yani kuchapa mtoto tu pole kidogo. Alafu baadaye unaongea na yeye.
Akishafanya kosa haistahili umchape sana. Mchape tu, lakini baada ya kumchapa utamwambia kwamba nimekuchapa juu ya vile umefanya makosa hapa na pale, na atalingana kulingana na utamaduni. Utaona kama atafuata ndio ile asikoze tena. Lakini kula kumchapa kwa kumuumiza, maybe unajua anaweza kuwa na madhara au pengine anaweza kumchapa collapse. So kumchapa seriously si vizuri.
We should not preach water and drink wine as parents. If you are going to tell your child don't steal, you need to actually show it by example. And not even stealing, let's go to the simple things like lying. You tell your child, I don't expect you to lie. And then when a neighbor comes and unambia mtoto, mwambie siko. That's a lie. You need to teach them by them seeing it, you do it physically, perform it so that it becomes an imprint in their spirit.
I feel parents have neglected their duties. If they can only bring that love between the children and the parent to be very strong, I feel many other things can go on so well.
Yani tuseme nikaa wale vijana utembea nao. Juu hata siwezi sema ni juu babake hayuko karibu. Juu yani si amewalea, ni mimi nimewalea yani. Wakitaka kila kitu ni mimi baba na mimi ndio mama.
In an ideal family setup, a father and mother are involved in bringing up children. But this is not the case in single-parent families. Lack of a father figure or mother figure could have an effect on the child's development.
Kisiku hizi sana tumerudi kwa kina nyanya, tumerudia upande wa babu. Watoto wengi wanasikiza hayo mawaidha sana.
Unaweza tumia hata, unajua sisi kama watoto naweza penda anko yangu mwingine sana. So unaweza chukua ile anko ambaye unaona anaweza msikiza, akamkalisha chini, akaongea naye, anaweza kubali ama anaweza muelewa because already pande yako ashakuogopa. Hiyo ni stage nyingine unaweza chukua after kuona asikii ama bado anarudia ile kosa.
See the sun shining. a child has two parents, such that when one parent is busy at work, the other one can be there for the child. So when you have a single parent, that parent must be there for the child throughout. So when they are busy at work, then the child is left to other people. Unlike if the child has two parents. Again, when it comes to income, you find that this parent must struggle to raise enough money to take care of the child, as opposed to when you have two parents helping each other. So it's a challenge. Again, if you have a mother taking care of a child as a single parent, the child will never be exposed to a male figure, and this child might even be a boy. So you find that the child has nobody to learn manly skills from. We advise them to get people like hangers or family friends who can help, but again, that is not full time, so it's challenging. But we are not saying single parents that they lose hope. We actually take them through sessions, try and be there. When you are not there, get somebody you respect or who can be able to mentor this child. If it's a girl who is living with a father, again, you find that they miss out on the motherly skills, what they learn from the mother. So you also advise them, can they spend time with their aunties, so that they don't lose out on interaction from both parents.
Parenting from a single parent, I would say, affects children because there are things that a dad would do that a mother would not do. Yeah. For instance, if you've grown up with a mother only in the family, the mom, and maybe you're a boy, there's always that attachment between son and mother, which is always there, that we cannot avoid talking about or sharing it openly. And it gets to a point, I've experienced and I've seen it myself, that you tell the son something and he cannot listen to you just because, you know, you're the mother figure and I am the father. He's trying to kind of inculcate the father figure in him. So he wants whatever he says is done. So he wants to take the position of the father.
The ideal situation should be where there are two parents. There is a father and a mother. Because the child, of course, we will know that a normal family consists of a father and a mother from his friends. And so sooner or later he will be asking questions like, who is my dad and where is my dad? Or who is my mother, where is my mother? So ideally, two parents, so that the father's role can be played by the father and the mother's role can be played by the woman. We need both to have a complete thing, a complete system.
Mimi naweza advise wale wazazi wale mtuikaa hao mtuikaa hii unajua mtu mmoja angalia dream yake unataka, lakini kitu moja muhimu ni hata huko hivyo nje mtu yako aga proud to so many things zinaweza mwapenia bado wakipono wakiritia watu wengi akoko home amtekea akoko nje akona mjali inakuwa kitu muhimu sana kwa mtu, lakini mtu yati angalie dream yake mwenyewe. Ukicheki mtu yeye ana passion na kitu, eka effort hapo. Pengine unaweza kuna msukumia kitabu si yake, unaweza kuna msukumia stories za nje hizo si zake, pengine ametambua kitabu. So kitu cha kwanza lazima uangalie passion ya mtu hii, alafu umku develop, alafu sa balance home na passion yake. Chenye unataka do home na passion yake. Si ati uko tu insistive na kitu moja ya home alafu nje utaki mtu ya grow, utaki mtu muende yake expand.
Sisi kama wazazi kuna vile unaelewa mtoto wako. Yeah, before utake any action unajua huyu mtoto wangu nikimpiga hata sikia. So lazima uangalie na vile mtoto ako.
We should not preach water and drink wine as parents. If you are going to tell your child don't steal, you need to actually show it by example. And not even stealing, let's go to the simple things like lying. You tell your child, I don't expect you to lie. And then when a neighbor comes and unambia mtoto, mwambie siko. That's a lie. You need to teach them by them seeing it, you do it physically, perform it so that it becomes an imprint in their spirit.
It is a great role for the parents to take care of their children, because if you don't take time to train your child, you won't blame the society. It would be good if each one of us in the society were in a position where we would be able to help each other. For example, you see parents having to struggle to go and pick their children from school. You find like 5 cars coming from the same estate going to pick from the same school, where they would have probably reorganize themselves and say, today you are the one to pick, tomorrow you are the one to pick. So you find that as much as it would be nice for the society to help, we can't really force people to take care of your children. Again, we know teachers play a very good big role in school because they spend a lot of time with the children. So parents and teachers are the main people who will shape a child's behavior. But at the end of it is the responsibility of the parent to make sure that their child grows up in the right morals and with the right responsibility and with the right self-control.
I would say that discipline through dialogue, you can let me give you an example. In the West, I grew up in the US, and what they do there, when a child, does something wrong, they say, you shouldn't have done that. Mommy is ashamed of you. Good children do not do that. Now, I remember a few years back, one of my students from Canada was sitting in my office, and she told me that when someone tells me, shame on you, nothing makes me feel as bad as when someone tells me shame on you. I feel like someone has splashed the mice in my stomach. I'm cold.